All right, welcome back. This is episode 13 of Reading Between the Lines with Tan the Man. I have with me Lewis, all the way from Montreal in Canada. He's the founder of ExoTwin. He's also the founder of another company called Helping Media. It's great to have you with us, Lewis.
Great to be here.
Absolutely. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself for the folks that don't know you, Lewis?
Well, after school, I returned to school to study electrical. I became an electrician for aircraft. Worked in that field for a few years. I got bored. I got out, and I started taking contract as a digital marketer. At first, as a photographer, videographer, I worked my way up. I built a team. I founded LP Media, the digital marketing agency that we do content marketing mostly. And we start managing big account for Google ads, Facebook ads, stuff like that for big brands, and also video production, a lot of video production, 2D, 3D, all those technology. And yeah, that's what brought me here today.
Absolutely. So before we go on to ExoTwin, walk me through what goes in the mind of Lewis. What makes you do the transition from being a digital marketer to going and starting your own 3D startup? What's that trigger or what's that motivation that makes you do that?
Yeah, I have to circle back just to let you know about my why, the business. Even in LP Media, my why was always to find a solution to connect the physical to the digital. We did everything digital, so content marketing is everything online, social media, Google Ads management, it's always online. But our main goal was to bring back customer into shops, to physical contact in a way, and vice versa, meaning you go into shop, you give your email, and we reach back digitally. So that always been the goal, and it's the same thing for ExoTwin today, is to bring people in the digital world as themselves. So what was the tick, as you said, is working in studio with video production, 2D, 3D, and having some project to turn someone into a 3D avatar that we can animate for what we call like hybrid video production, virtual production. It's a pretty intensive process or expensive process, if you will, to turn someone into a 3D avatar that is realistic enough to do a video. And there are some studios that offer that service. It can range from 3,000 to 5,000 just to do one person modelize in 3D. And with the technology available today, I saw that and I said, hold on, there's a way to do that a lot easier, cheaper, and to democratize this for everyone that could create their own avatar and level the playing field for the metaverse and everything else, right? So that was the tick, that was the idea. And I started working on that, doing some research and working to bring a project, a product or service, I mean, that is very cost efficient and open the door to everyone.
Absolutely. And so as you're talking about ExoTwin, an obvious question, what is ExoTwin and what are you trying to do?
All right. Two good questions. ExoTwin is the goal is to help you create your 3D self, 3D avatar. We say avatar, but in fact, it's a lot more than an avatar. It's not a look like you. It's a full digital twin of yourself. Super precise, super recognizable. And our goal is to bring some realism into the metaverse. Everything is virtual in metaverse, and it's okay. It's all fun and game. You can have the avatar you want. You can impersonate everything you like. But for some more business or serious things in the metaverse, like a convention, a business meeting, you want to meet someone overseas. If it looks like I don't know, a dog, a cat, a bear, or something like that, it's funny at first, but it doesn't work in the business world. So our main goal is to bring not just an avatar, digital twin of yourself that is highly recognizable. So if I cross you in I don't know, metaverse convention, I would say, hold on, I know this guy, Tan. I'm gonna start to talk to him because I recognize you. And that's our was our first goal, to drive everything.
Absolutely. So what makes you think that you are the platform that can pull it off, whereas the others cannot? Is there some technology that you have? Is there some secret sauce that you have that no one else does? What
There,
what what makes you believe that you're the one to pull it off?
yeah, there's a bit of everything. First of all, if we compare it to standard studio, because a lot of studios, photogrammetry is not new. In Hollywood, they use that a ton. Video game developer also to import personage, I mean, character into games. The thing is, they use a very expensive hardware that is fixed, it doesn't move, and you have to go in studio, and the process is long. What we brought down within a year is to shrink down the hardware to only what we need to do one person at a time. So the volume is smaller. We do one person at a time, which is totally fine. The level quality is the same. A lot of automatization to align, cut, and do the 3D model of the person. And just a small, tiny touch of a 3D artist that will just make sure to clean everything by hand. It's perfect, ready to rig and use. All that means the hardware cost went down almost like threefold, and the service from an average of 3,000 to 5,000 per person would go down with ExoTwin to 250 per person. It's a huge market breaker right there to democratize. So cost went down, the machine cost went down. It's portable. We can do events and all kind of stuff. So that was to answer your question, the way we found to be different. And there's another thing, is not just create a 3D avatar, because technology permits it. Another company can start doing what we do fairly easily with some development. What we aim to do is to create a 3D avatar that recognizable, like I said, but certifiable, meaning your identity, we are working on developing a minting system, so you can mint your 3D avatar as an NFT, being certified with us, because you have to come to an ExoTwin location to get twinned, as we say, so we can review your paperwork, make sure that Tan Sharma is Tan Sharma, in fact, and create your digital signage, your smart contract, your NFT key that will be held in your wallet. And when you get into an event or in a metaverse, signing your presence with your NFT means you are now certified to be who you are. And that's what sets us apart. And that's what we're working on right now and developing.
Absolutely. So you said that you took whatever hardware you needed for photogeometry, right? And you put it into whatever you needed and didn't use all of the things. Is that hardware going to be for you, or is that hardware for the customers to purchase and then keep updating their avatars from time to time? Because we all know we change our facial hair, we change our haircut, we lose weight, we gain weight, we look different, right?
Yeah.
We change. So how's that going to work?
All right. The hardware right now, we brought it down for it was close to 200,000 US, the full rig that most studio use. Right now we brought it down to 70,000, which is still a lot for a person to purchase. It doesn't make any sense. What we're planning to do is just deliver that hardware to every location they want to open, like a micro franchise of ExoTwin, if you'd like, so they can operate in all big city, major city. So people just go there, get twin. It's fairly affordable. And people that opt in for the certification, the digital certification NFT, they will have to redo at least once a year just to conform. So they might change the air, everything, right? But other than that, no, we don't accept people. We don't expect people to buy the hardware to do it themselves. It still needs someone to operate it. It still needs a lot of computer science behind it. We have a software. We have all kind of stuff rigged out to work. So it's not the plan right now. Maybe in the near future with technology, we don't know. When iPhone scanning with LiDAR gets precise enough to what we do, it's good. It's still not there yet. Maybe people will be able to do it themselves. So far, they have to come to an ExoTwin location and get certified by the same time.
Absolutely. Do you see this being expanded into more countries, maybe even more continents outside of America?
Yeah, totally. Because we've been reached out from people in the state, New York, Miami, maybe LA. They are interested to buy the first like micro franchise to operate because they have demand for that. We want to cover Canada first because we're here, boots on the ground, so it's easy for us to open different locations in big cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and we've been asked also to open something in France. And I think we had a discussion also in India. I don't know where yet. I don't remember. But there's demand for that because they say, look, the hardware from that was 200,000 to 70,000 for a micro franchise. It's affordable. It can work. And we have a ton of client we can align for that. So yes, there's development there. But right now we're focusing our core on leveraging the first round of funding so we can further the app, the web app, make it better, develop the marketplace and the digital certification as an NFT.
All right. This real life like avatar that you're trying to create, and essentially your pitch is that you're gonna make it a magnitude better than other people, right? They create something like a cartoon avatar, you're gonna create something which looks almost similar to how you look in the real life. So let me ask you this question. Is your focus on civilian use, or is your focus more on the military side of the use with defense contractors and militaries and stuff like that?
It's a good question. I will answer what I can tell you right now. The first aim, the first segment of market we thought would be good for us, celebrities, artists, that their image is very important for them. If let's say Snoop Dogg's perform a show in a metaverse, and it does it with an ExoTwin that is certified, people can attest that is Snoop Dogg. Right now, there's so many tools like Ready Player Me. I can take just your profile picture of LinkedIn, upload it in Ready Player Me, create an avatar that looks like you, and use it in a metaverse to impersonate you. Right? There's nothing to certify the identity, and I can fool people with that if I'm good at it. So our aim is to certify the identity. So if we think in that way for celebrities, they have a way to monetize their image in the metaverse. They can also rent their 3D avatar for brands, for experience and marketing. Maybe if you get, I just say Snoop Dogg, but you get the 3D avatar of Snoop Dogg can probably rent his avatar for a venue in the metaverse that just have him greeting everyone to answer to make something special. He can monetize this. The second use case is everything business. Right now, we are working on a system to animate my avatar real time with the webcam on the computer and have the Zoom meeting with my avatar instead of me. Because maybe this morning I didn't do my hair, didn't shave, and I don't want just people to see my face. It can be my avatar animated in real life. Boom. That we are working on it, soon to be disclosed. Also, business meeting in the metaverse, same thing. You have a whole team there. There's company they do virtually meeting, not just in Zoom, but in Meta and stuff like that. Well, when you don't recognize the employee you're on the table because they all look different, it's not the same thing, right? So this is like our second segment. And we want to open up to everyone. A lot of people come to us, I just want to have my avatar to play Gran Turismo or GTA 5 as my own character on a computer, or play some games with me in it. Some VTuber, they ask us, I would like to create my avatar and then don't have to film myself every time. It can be me in the camera on YouTube, but also in the game. Game changer. Some people come to us, I want to 3D print myself with my 3D printer. Boom, it's done. Because there's a lot of use cases for all the rest of the people. And you ask for military defense contract, yeah, we've been approached for that. The Canadian defense and United States also for some training environment that they would just import real person in 3D to do some training and stuff like that. It's all I can say right now. I wish I could tell you more, but yeah, there's a lot of ways that this can be used.
Absolutely.
If you like the video, please hit the like button. If you think what's being discussed is nice and you'd like to join the discussion, please comment below. And if you'd like to stay updated, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you.
So Lewis, let me ask you this question. What's your goal with ExoTwin?
Our goal, well, there are so many goals. First thing, to create a 3D avatar fairly affordable, that recognizable, that looks like you. So this is achieved, and we're very proud of that. But what's coming? It's very interesting. There's a lot of use case, like Apple designing the 3D glasses. Let's say you walk down the street and you receive a call. Wouldn't it be nice to also see the person, maybe this 3D avatar animated just by the sound of his voice? So you have a look at what he's doing, right? And that would be achievable with something like our avatar. Basically, there's a ton of ways, but what we like to hammer down right now is the certification. Like I said previously, that's our main goal for today. Once we have the digital identity certification of the avatar as a NFT, a lot of doors open on the market for everything, either marketing, either just to unlock stuff with big brands, to see yourself in fashion designing clothes, because everything would fit you like a glove, because we have all your dimension when we do the scanning process. There's a lot of ways that this can be used.
So Lewis, let me ask you this. You talked a little bit about you being different from your competitors, right? What makes you different?
What makes us different will be the digital certification of your identity. By process, the way we work, since you have to come to one of our location, makes it possible to certify your identity. Because real human will interact with you. We can see you, attest with your driving license, your passport, that you are in fact who you are, right? Who you pretend to are. And then we can create the smart contract, the NFT, and boom, we have a certified, you have your certified identity. So this we are working on it, and that will set us apart from every other company that you just create a look like avatar from thin air, just uploading a picture, right? We don't know who's behind the camera at that point.
Do you see that as a threat? Because not everyone may want to come to your centralized location or your office, right? If I'm doing something in the Web3, I want convenience. Convenience is I get to do it sitting at my home. And the moment you say that, come to my office, I want to verify your identity, that would essentially have a lot of people abandon it altogether, right? So how do you address that?
Totally. So there's two main factors that people won't do it. And when we were drafting the ideas of ExoTwin about a year and a half ago, we saw those right away. First, price. Nobody would pay, well, not everyone would pay 3,000 to 5,000 just to get a 3D avatar of themselves. First thing, price. Second, they have to go out of the house and get it done. They cannot do it themselves with the comfort of their home. And so what we did is, the first, we answered the price by cutting down to 250. It's still a lot of money for some people, but I think we really achieved something good. The second thing is by creating a micro franchise that is affordable for different partners in the world to buy and operate automatically, like with just a few 1 day or two of training at the most. Then we open location close to people, so they don't have to travel far to get it done. They still have to travel, like you would do for your passport photo. You have to go to somewhere, get it signed, and go then to, I don't know, government facility or stuff like that to get it printed out. It's your identity. Same thing as we do certified your digital identity. It's serious business. It's not just something you do with your phone and it looks like you and it's done. Because that way we cannot really certify who's behind that pictures. So yeah, I think we iron those points out. Maybe not everyone will do that or feel comfortable, get out of the house and get it done. But that will be the only way for now until technology maybe down the road, 5 years, allow us to do it differently. Other thing is we can move our rig, photogrammetry rig and system and hardware fairly easy. It takes me alone just 15 minutes to bring it down and goes in 3 travel case, and I can bring it somewhere else in another city to a different event and do tons of people during a day. So there's also that.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this question. Where do you see ExoTwin 10 years down the line?
We see a lot. In the businessman, there's so many stuff we want to do, but I think my personal favorite, it's still a bit weird or creepy for people right now, so we hold on to it to release it down the road. But as you know, with AI right now, an AI can reproduce your voice, right? Just sample through recording, it's going to learn your voice and it can talk like you. Second thing, there are some conversational AI that are developed right now. They can think and answer questions like you would normally do. 80, some even 90% of the time right, if you feed the AI right. So that being said, the technology is there. We're working on that to produce what we would call like digital human preservation. We don't have a title right now, but let's say we take you, for example, Tan. We do your 3D avatar. We sample your voice with AI. We feed that AI a bunch of stuff that you know, which is your base of knowledge. Everything you did, all your video, photo, all the writing, the article, and then I can start asking your digital self some question and you would answer me. So picture this. Maybe you want to preserve a loved one before they pass, and you can still communicate in the metaverse with them once in a while, go see them, talk to them and ask them about their life, previous life, or stuff that you never had time to ask them. Or you just take maybe a famous character like Albert Einstein and just ask him a bunch of questions. It can be animated and reply to you in the metaverse. That would come like more interaction. Sorry, cut that out. It would be more interactive for learning and stuff like that. So we have a big pipeline down the road for preservation. You preserve the human mind, but also the body through 3D AI.
Absolutely. So if you had, say, a magic wand and you could choose, let's say, 5 use cases, where would you like to see 5 use cases of ExoTwin?
All right. Well, a great question. If I can make the dream come true in down the line in the 5 years, I see a lot of business cases other than just the metaverse. Of course, for all celebrities or artists that want to perform at an event in the metaverse, first use case, very cool. We see ourselves there 100%. Then there's the industry of fashion or clothes. Imagine visiting a website, browsing some stuff, but if you upload your avatar, your NFT, it can tell you right away through the fit what you can buy that will fit you. So it can show you the inventory of everything that's in stock that's going to fit you. You can also try it on virtually on your 3D avatar and see how it looks like before you buy it, right? So that's another thing. There's also people asking us, yeah, what about the medical or the physical, like you go with a trainer in a gym and you want to see your evolution month to month. yeah, that can be something, because all the measure we take when we scan your body is to the millimeter precise. So yes, you can do a follow-up of your body morph change measurement and stuff like that. So there's a use case there. There's also plenty of use case for games. I think down the road, if we gather a community of enough people doing their 3D avatar, game developer will be super interested to, because we already opened conversation with few of them, to create a game that you import your 3D avatar to play the game as yourself. That'll be very, very cool as a personalization. Let's say you play, I don't know, soccer, in a game of soccer with few of your friends, you can recognize them in the game when you play against them or in your team or what's what. Totally game changer. So we see that. We see more and more content creator, 3D content creator, that they can create avatar for very quick, easily, and low cost to create more environment and experience in 3D easily. So content creator, they have a tool now, a service that can help them achieve that, their vision. And yeah, there's there's a ton of uses. It just doesn't come to mind right away.
Absolutely. So Louis, as you and I both know, you're from Montreal, you speak in French, that's your primary language. You also speak in English, right? As a bilingual myself, I understand how that works, because essentially when you live in two different countries, or you speak two different or more than two languages, you have two different personalities, right? You have a personality that is in the French speaking personality, and then you have an English speaking personality. So you can essentially understand two different cultures. If I was to then ask you to give your opinion on how you see both metaverse and Web3 in the French community, both in Canada and in France, because you have quite a lot of connections in France as well, and the English speaking community, what parallels or what opportunities or what developments do you draw upon? Because as a person who does not speak French, I'm curious as to how the French speaking population is perceiving both metaverse, Web3, NFT, and all these technologies.
You know what? It's a good question. It's a very deep question, in fact, because what I see from my perspective, and I don't want to imply that's the only vision, but Web3, it's like a different beast that brings together every community, every ethnicity, every language. Yes, the common language in Web3 is mostly English, if you read everything on the web, but most people that come from French community, Indian community, they all work towards the same goal, and it's democratizing the access of Web3 to our own internet, take possession, not big corporation. And I think we're all aligned with that. Whatever our background is, it's funny that you highlight that, because when I was developing ExoTwin in Montreal and with some French talking people, I think the objective and the goal were the same to the English community. It's just that we want to get into the metaverse. Some of us, they want to do business in the metaverse because we see a future for our company or a tech company to do meet client, do pitches, do events in the metaverse. And we need people that looks like us. So either French or English, they had the same common goal. And just take this example. It's just an example. Let's say a car dealership. They want to do a 3D showroom for their car. Let's say Honda car dealership. They want to show all their new car. You can put the Googles on, your Quest 2, I don't know, go in a metaverse, see the cars inside out in 3D. They also want their salesperson to interact with you, to explain the car, answer your question and stuff like that. And right now in the metaverse, most were like robot-like, half body walking around and talking. There's no human connection. It's cold. It's technology. It's cool. It's fun, but it's cold in a human perspective. And I think when I pitch ExoTwin as being more like humanizing the metaverse, Can we say that? I'm sorry, I'm translate from French to English.
Yeah.
Humanize the metaverse, the virtual world, and add a bit of, I want to see you eyes and eyes and see your reaction, how you like, how you look like. We reply to this, and French or English community, they all agree to that. If I'm in a dealership, in a virtual dealership, and looking at a car and getting some explanation and my question answered by a salesperson that I can relate to, that I can recognize, when I go to that car dealership, I can recognize the person and continue the transaction with them. So it doesn't break right there. And I think that's a wonderful use case, and that applies to everything. Do meaningful human connection, even in the virtual world. That's what we're missing right now.
Absolutely.
If you like the video, please hit the like button. If you think what's being discussed is nice and you'd like to join the discussion, please comment below. And if you'd like to stay updated, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you.
We all know that Canada has a very open culture. Canada welcomes a lot of immigrants, and Canada is that open society that does that, right? Is a flag bearer for a lot of open immigration. A lot of proponents of immigration say that the highest reason is that the new immigrants don't inculcate in the culture of the host country, right? The host society, is that they don't, they bring their culture and they don't assimilate into our culture. That is one of the biggest points of the people that are against immigration. Do you think Metaverse and Web3 as a tool can help these new immigrants prove, and not only prove, but understand the cultural nuances, the etiquettes, the ethics of the host country before they even step foot into Canada or any other country for that reason? So do you think Metaverse as a technology can then be used for such social change and sort of integration within the host societies?
It's an interesting question. I'm not sure how to reply to that because I didn't see anything built around that to do that specific use case. And I'm sure it can. I don't see how. I don't have the solution to that. But I see other ways that could lead to that right now, like in learning. So if you want to do a course online to learn a new skill or something, could be cultural etiquette, like you say, or stuff like that. But right now in the learning industry, if I put my Quest 2 VR goggle and I do a learning class, I'm a lot more immersed. My focus and attention is way higher because I cut every distraction around me. I'm just one-to-one with either the trainer or what's what doing the courses. And I can also interact with body movement, doing stuff, and learn some movement, learn some probably, like you say, cultural etiquette, the way to say I, the sign language that are to be done in Canada, but not in other part. You can do the peace sign here. It means peace, but in other country, it means something wrong, right? Maybe Metaverse, 3D environment can help with that. I don't know, but I know for the learning industry, it's a huge step forward and being more concentrate, more focused, and learning content a lot easier. So maybe you have something there.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I've always loved about Canada when I've spent my time is the region of Nunavut. Not a lot of people know about it, but it's a region that is known for its harsh weather conditions. It's a bit remote, but that also gives a little bit of peace to that place, right? Do you see places, not only Nunavut, but do you see remote places that perhaps don't get tourism utilize the technology of Metaverse and Web3 to then garner attention to themselves, not only in a digital sphere, but probably also bring that into physical tourism to that place?
Totally, 100%. And what you just said, touch base with like 2-3 projects we have aligned down the road for the next 5 years. And one of them, you have to know that for a few years we are doing some scanning environment, like with Matterport. Most realtor broker, they use that just to map out the building so you can visit in 3D, have a look at the house before buying it without even setting foot in it, right? So that technology. The same technology applies for a terrain or a region that we would probably scan a part of the city so people can discover it. But what we were lacking in that city is the people. And now with ExoTwin, we have a fair, cheap way and easy and fast way to twin those people to be actor in that part of the city that you would visit, and probably even talk to them. With our project, I was talking about creating a conversational AI that holds the knowledge of that person. So maybe it's the mayor of the city that we twin. We feed all the information people need, and you can just go in the metaverse, explore the city, talk to the mayor, and ask him a bunch of questions. Since when you live there? Since what? What happened in the city? How did you build this? And what's what? Right?
Absolutely.
And that would be an amazing way to visit. And that would be an amazing way to visit any businesses, any city, anything virtually, right? The only thing that we were missing, and I saw a miles away when I was working on that project, is adding human. Because when you do a digital scan Matterport, everything that moves get blurry and you have to take it out. With our technology, we can do a human. Even your breathing, because we take 105 pictures synced and super quick, you're like fixed in time, nothing is blurry, and it works. And then we can incorporate you in that 3D world. So that was the only thing missing: human connection in virtual world. So we are the answer to part of the question. But yeah, going forward, your idea is fantastic. I think we can discover new culture, even though the language barrier is there. Because in Nunavut, they probably don't speak English, some of them, but with AI can be translated to every language, and you can have a meaningful conversation with that AI human, kind of, right?
Absolutely. All right, Lewis, let's move on to the final section of our interview. This is my favorite section, which is rapid fire questions. And I'd love to hear your answers or opinions on this. Even though it's called rapid fire questions, we do let you expand on the answers. So feel free if you think that you want to talk a little bit about the answers. So here's the first question. Who do you think is going to win the Metaverse and Web3 race? Is that big tech, or is that companies like Upland or Sandbox? And why do you think what you think?
Wow, that's a tough one. I don't know who's going to win it, but I think content creator have a huge play in Web3 and Metaverse, specifically in Metaverses, because a lot of company right now build world, but they need content to fill it and make it meaningful. And I'm not just talking about the 3D avatar like we produced, but content, experience, animation, 3D rendering, anything. I think content creator will have a huge play. And when I think content creator, I don't think one mega company. I think everyone that is an artist or content creator can take a big slice of the pie.
Absolutely. What do you think from your personal experience and your opinion, which is, I presume, is shaped by your experiences? What do you think will trigger the mass adoption of the Metaverse and Web3?
I think the first thing is the comprehension. Most people still read news about NFT, a lot of company that they just take a bunch of money and shut down and stuff like that. There's a lot of bad news and bad rep. So most people are still either afraid or just doesn't understand it. That's the big barrier right now. Once this is like more transparent and people start knowing better what's the use case, what is it for, does it do for me? And when it gets easier, like just managing a wallet of cryptocurrency, money, avatar, it's not for everyone. It's not everyone that understand how to use that. Once we pass that barrier, well, I think there's going to be a mass adoption because the benefits outweighs just that barrier, right? There's an infinite possibility of what you can build in 3D. And when I say infinite, it's really that. It's hard to comprehend for most people, infinity and everything that can be done. But if you can think of it, you can create it, you can code it, you can build it. It's 3D, it's virtual, right? So if you want to build, I don't know, a pirate ship that flies over to the moon and stuff crazy like that, you can. It's the metaverse, man. So anything is possible.
Absolutely. Per your opinion, what brings e-commerce to the metaverse?
There's a lot of different ways. The first thing I pictured, and it's my background, right, with ExoTwin, is the virtual fitting room, the true to fit fashion designing clothes. So picture this: instead of going to the store, get your measurement and get a tuxedo, you can just go on the website, upload a 3D avatar. They have 110 body measurements, super precise, that they receive. They can even build a tuxedo that fits you better than just taking a manual measurement, right? So one thing I see for e-commerce is shopping online, going to the 3D metaverse mall that are getting created right now as yourself. See yourself in the mirror, try on different bunch of clothes, see if it fits, and purchase them. So the first thing I see for transaction, but there's old world revolving about 3D e-commerce. I mean, metaverse, e-commerce, and stuff like that. I don't know all of it, so I cannot answer for all that, but there's still a lot of potential.
Absolutely. Do you ever see election campaigns happening in the metaverse?
I don't know. That's one thing that's very, you need to build a human connection. Again, I know I'm always about human connection, but I feel that's the only thing that the metaverse lack in general. Is there's two sides of the metaverse right now. There's entertainment, and we see a lot of entertainment. You go there, you get lost in the different world, you lose a perspective of the real world, and it's fun because it's entertaining. You can forget about your life. You go there, you can dress as Captain America and just do whatever you want, right? But there's the other side of things that where we place ourselves at ExoTwin to bring some realism and humanizing the metaverse for us is just to add some meaningful human connection. If in few years, maybe 5-10 years, I don't know, maybe we'll see some political campaign. Right now, what we're working on, and it's a kind of a secret, I'll let you know in, we want to take, let's say, a football game, right? Soccer or football, and retarget in real time in the metaverse the same game. So you could potentially watch in the metaverse in 3D the football game that you can also watch on TV. But the thing is, imagine that you can stand in the middle of the field if you want and be 2 inches close to your favorite player and see every motion and every angle, how he kicks, how he throw, how he interact, right? And we're working on that to solve that because there's some problem, but we're getting close. And if we can do that for live sport events in the metaverse, live concert in the metaverse, I think political campaign, yeah, why not?
Absolutely. Right. Let me ask you the next question, Lewis. Who's going to win the immersiveness race? Is it VR or is it AR?
I think it's either. I think it's XR. I think, yeah, well, you can say AR, but XR, which is everything reality augmented, I think it's gonna win the race. Not having to have the goggle, the headset, the VR headset, it's a huge thing. And when you see company like Apple or Samsung or many others developing glasses, AR glasses to just amplify what you see either on the street, it can be for advertisement, for communication, for GPS, routing and stuff like that. This is going to be a huge market and I see it. And for me, yeah, I'd put my money in XR or AR.
Absolutely.
If you like the video, please hit the like button. If you think what's being discussed is nice and you'd like to join the discussion, please comment below. And if you'd like to stay updated, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you.
So let me ask you, what's the future of metaverse? Is it VR headsets or is it holographic projections?
Wow. There's two things. I don't want to burst anyone bubble, but holographic projection. We use that technology in cinema with mirrors and glasses and smoke screen and stuff like that for years. And still today, there's no better solution than that. And there's no technology of real holographic projection. There's stuff like a Proteus portal or something like that, that you can see someone kind of a projection, but within a box that is a control lighting and stuff. I don't see for the next 10 years any real projection. Even they tried with laser beam and stuff like that, but still it has to be very controlled environment with lighting and good condition. I don't see that happening. I think AR is the best solution by far. Either, and maybe we have to rethink holographic. If you take AR glasses and you can see someone in 3D talking to you, or as like, let's say, a virtual phone call, yeah, it looks like a 3D holographic, but you need the glasses to do that. You need AR, and it's a different thing, right? And I think this is going to win the race. But the VR headset still are the most today immersive technology. If you don't want to see the room you're sitting in, right? You want to be transported somewhere else. VR headset are the best tool right now for that. But everything else in everyday's life, AR is going to win for sure.
Absolutely. Is the global internet bandwidth fast enough for Metaverse and Web3's mass adoption? And piggybacking off that question as well, is the rendering capabilities of a lot of computer systems with graphic cards and all, are they fast enough for the mass adoption of Metaverse and Web3?
All boils down to the level of detail and the quality of the rendering or the 3D you see. But right off the bat, with just 5G being released, cell phone tower and cell phone, 5G, it's fast enough, 100%. We've done some tests, the latency is super low, the bandwidth is incredible. 5G's answered everything about like AR and 3D visualization on the road anywhere. So this is done. The other thing is having a super realistic and detailed avatar like we do, rendering in full resolution. Yeah, it takes a lot of bandwidth. But with technology like pixel streaming from Unreal Engine, different 3D engine that they develop their own thing with that, fix most of it. And they still also can compute the 3D rendering on, let's say, GPU farming system. So your device doesn't have much to do. And it just displays like as regular video if you say they're rendering the 3D and stuff like that. So with all this technology, does it apply to every country in the planet right now? No, but most of them, technology advanced that has 5G, yes, totally, we're ready for that.
Absolutely. Okay, let me ask you this question. Are governments behind the curve when it comes to adopting Metaverse in Web3?
Yeah, personally, I don't know. I'm not sure. From my perspective and what I know, the government tends to be a bit slow adopting this new technology. And there's reason for that. It's just that maybe they want to make sure it's stable, it works fine, the security is high enough, for every use case. But the other side, there's a lot of stuff we don't see that the government invest and develop, like I would say behind the curtains. Like you mentioned, the army, right? Maybe you have program to adopt the metaverse and 3D environment for training as a training ground for military stuff purpose, right? Maybe, well, not maybe, I know for a fact they are using that right now as we speak as a training ground. So maybe they just gonna work with it to a point that they want to release to the population and be part of it. Are they late to the party? I'm not sure. I think they're well aware of the Web3 ecosystem that are developing, and most government, they want to be present. They're doing everything to be present. Just you see with the cryptocurrency taking back the power to the people, money exchange people to people directly without institution, without government. They didn't like that, right? They tried to get in and put some legislation and rules and stuff. So maybe they're a bit late to the party, but they'll be in it for sure. It's what I think. I mean, I don't know everything. It's my opinion.
Absolutely. As we have come out of this global disease of 2020, which we can't name because of a YouTube policy, we see a lot of, and the cost of living crisis that we're now facing, we see a lot of charities saying that their donations are down, whereas the use and people wanting their services and help is going up, right? Do you think charities are doing justice to their community and themselves when it comes to utilizing the NFT technology to fundraise? What I try to mean is, are they using NFT technology to fundraise to a level that should be done? Or do you think they are behind the curve?
Well, I'm not sure because I do speak with a lot of charities. We work for them for video production and stuff like that, marketing. They don't usually have all the tools right now. Sometimes they lack technological tools, maybe for budget or lack of know-how, right? And yes, I think they can improve their fundraising, collecting and stuff, adopting NFT. But we have to be careful using NFTs. The term NFTs defines something that has been used for good and for bad right now, right? And the image of NFT is not that super well received. So it's going to be renamed. I believe NFT will be renamed to something else. So the digital currency on the blockchain, super concept, super security and everything. Yes, it can be an asset for a charity fundraising. Yes, they can use that to another level if they think of using that to create an experience. It's all about creating an experience. If for just a use case, I'm not specialist with that. Fundraising, they say if you give $100, you receive this NFT token that unlocks, I don't know, possibilities to major retailers and discount and stuff like that. It becomes a use case. It becomes something that works in the real world, that gives me an incentive to give to that fundraising and the foundation. Yes, so if they think of an experience in a token or an NFT, they will obviously be able to leverage a lot more fundraising and funds because they will be giving back a utility, and that NFT will become a utility and something you can use in real life. And yeah, that thing would be a great use case.
Absolutely. Who should be responsible if a crime is committed in the metaverse and Web3?
Who should we make responsible for a crime? I think it's the people, the person itself. Thing is, it's a very strange concept that we try to apply. The real world is if you commit a crime in the street, right? It's the police, it's the law enforcement, and you can go to jail and stuff like that, right? When people commit a crime, a cyber attack, there's like higher government agency that fight cybercrime and stuff like that. When you go to the metaverse and you try to build, and it depends, are you trying to build a metaverse or a decentralized metaverse in the Web3, right? That's the question. And I think your question is in the decentralized version of it, right? Who's to blame? Right now, it's only yourself. Let's say you get scammed by giving away a crypto money NFT to someone that impersonate a member of your family and what's what, and you lose it. It's only yourself to blame because there's no third party to guarantee the money, like the bank or the credit card company, because you made a fraudulent payment. It's only you. And yeah, it's an ethical question to ask right now. What are we getting into it by just putting aside all those big corporate companies? Because some of them, they have rule in place to help us with that and crime and stuff. So I don't know. My answer would be, for now, yourself. You're the one to blame if you do either something wrong, someone do something wrong to you. I don't see any entity taking blame right now.
Absolutely. Should Metaverse and Web3 technology ownership be anonymous?
Should it be anonymous? I think most people, they adopt Web3 to be anonymous. Should it be like 100% all the time? I'm not sure. I think I don't want to deal with someone for a business transaction giving money if I cannot authenticate him, unless I'm buying something I'm not supposed to buy on the black market or what's what. Yeah, that's cool. But other than that, I don't know. There's a lot of business cases that I want to identify and connect with the real person and make sure who he is. If I want to be anonymous of what I do, it's fine. I think for web browsing, doing all my activity, I don't want big corporation to use that as marketing data on me. Fine. But there are some transaction I think you have to identify yourself. And just for that, super important that we think of how we're going to do that. Us would be the NFT certification, smart contract, and everything I told you before. Maybe there's other ways, but we really have to think on that for society.
Absolutely. So, Lewis, let me ask you this question. As a lot of folks that are probably not from Canada, and we're trying to understand the Canadian Web3 and Metaverse ecosystem, if you can lay it bare for us, what are the top cities where developers and users are based out of, and where are the innovations coming out from?
Oh, I don't think I'm the specialist of the metaverse, NFT, and all that culture. I know for a fact I had a meeting with a bunch of companies, and I think most of them I reached out are either in Montreal or Ontario, Toronto. Toronto, which is a big hub also for technology, in Montreal. You can think of Montreal also for everything that has to do with 3D, 3D games, 3D and film, VFX and stuff like that. Montreal is a huge part of it. So my takeaway in that industry for the metaverse, and metaverse is just a word that was invented by Meta recently, but it described basically a 3D environment, right? To the core of the essence, the metaverse is just a 3D environment that you can walk into it and do all kind of experiences. Based on that thought, to 3D environment, and Montreal is a hub for 3D artists. Most of the best in the world are in Montreal for VFX, 3D modelizing, shapes, character, and everything, right? So I think that there's a huge part in Canada for that, because we have good talent to build a metaverse, to build experiences, to build 3D world, 3D assets. And this talent is also everywhere in the world. I'm not just saying in Canada, but from I know, every discussion I had with very talented people, all in Montreal. It's wonderful. It's people that worked on every episode of Game of Thrones for 3D and VFX. They worked on every Hollywood film that you can think of, Marvels and stuff. That's a ton of 3D and VFX in Montreal. So the metaverse, huge part of it, creating an experience. I told you in the metaverse, we need content creator. I think they will win most of what the metaverse is. We need content creator that shapes the environment. And yeah, it's what I found in Canada that we have.
Absolutely. So Lewis, let me ask you this question. What's your personal outlook for Metaverse and Web3 on a global scale for the next few years as you see it?
Personally, the metaverse, either on Web3 or not, I think it's a crazy good way to connect with different culture and people around the world. With we've been working with NVIDIA. There's some SDK for live translation in multiple language, also speech to audio to faces, animation, stuff like that. And we're working with all those technology. And I can see myself tomorrow having a meeting with someone in China that speak Mandarin, and I speak English, and he will hear me live in Mandarin. I will hear him live in English. I can also see him in the metaverse in 3D with all the body language animated. It's what I see in the future, is to break the barrier of every like country and cultures, and just communicate and travel the world with the metaverse, discover new culture. Like you said before, it can be a super great way to do that. But also, I'm a businessman, so I see a lot of potential to have business meeting, pitching something, and you can see the presentation in 3D. You can interact with an object, and you can be based in India, and I'll be based in Montreal, but we have a common ground in the metaverse to meet and discuss and evolve.
Absolutely. With that, hopefully, next time we have this interview, Lewis, it's going to be using your technology, and it's going to be our avatars that are going to be having this interview. Finally, this concludes the episode 13 of Reading Between the Lines with Tandaman. We can go on. Lewis is a great person. We can go on and on and on and talk to him about metaverse and his technologies for hours and hours. But he has his schedule, and we don't want to keep him for too long. So with that, Lewis, it's been a pleasure having you here.
It's all mine.
Hopefully, we can have you here again. Before we end this interview, I will leave you with the same quote as I say in every interview. You be the arbiter of truth, the viewers of the Metaverse Street Journal. Thank you very much, guys. This was episode 13. Thank you, Lewis.
If you like the video, please hit the like button. If you think what's being discussed is nice and you'd like to join the discussion, please comment below. And if you'd like to stay updated, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you.